Senator Hickenlooper.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Rushlow, you earlier testified that you've looked at the places, the airports with higher volumes of mixed traffic. I think you mentioned Boston, Dallas, Anchorage. Is that assessment, have you gone through all the airports? I mean, does that mean that other airports in other large cities or where we have a fair amount of mixed traffic are okay?
Good job. Thank you.
So we have 10 locations, a total of 21 airports. So we are doing this hotspot review, this mixed traffic review across the nation, including in the Anchorage area. So we're reviewing all the airspace designs to see where we may have this indicator of risk with mixed traffic. So helicopter operations as well as fixed wing.
And so you mentioned Boston, Dallas, and Anchorage. That's not the full list, I assume.
That's correct, sir.
And so when will this be done?
So obviously, 21 locations, I'm receiving regular updates. I anticipate that being, let's see, I anticipate that activity being concluded in the next couple weeks. I will tell you that our teams they're being very intentional about how they go through that airspace because it's been built over time as it relates to helicopter routes and other approaches and departure routes. So we're being very intentional, very careful. We don't want to move quickly with inducing additional risk.
Right, I understand that, but obviously time is of the essence.
Yes,
when
sir.
you're in a situation like this, making sure that even a preliminary warning as part of that assessment would be pretty valuable.
And any indicator that there's an emerging risk, we would take immediate action.
Ms. Homendy, you have in the past talked about workforce and making sure that you are fully staffed. And I think this is a direct follow-up on that. Are we fully staffed? I mean, you're going to look at this entire incident, and it's going to take the typical year and a half or 2 years, which, again, drives a lot of my constituents crazy. Do you have a timeline for when you will finish the full incident report or whatever the legal description is, when that will happen?
We've committed to 1 year, barring any unforeseen circumstances, but 1 year.
And so you have enough staffing on that?
We have 40 experts at the NTSB that are currently leading this investigation. It is a high workload because it's not their only investigation that they're focused on, but they're very committed to this one. And then we have an entire agency that supports them.
Right. We have a array of past reports, and it varies dramatically, but I appreciate the fact that you're trying to accelerate this. I think it frustrates a lot of people that it takes so long. I mean, how long does it take to gather the facts?
So, I mean, it is a complex investigations, and our investigations are very broad. And there's a lot of information that can change over time, and we are very fact-based, following the evidence. So we do, that's our credibility, so we want to be exact when we issue something. I will say, I do have to congratulate our workforce, because when I came on as chair, we had well over 400, close to 500 reports that were 2, 3, 4 years old, and they're now below 2. Right. So that is significant, but the complexity of investigations, and then the fact that some things we don't have control over, like if we can't get access to evidence because a district attorney or law enforcement is prohibiting us in a certain situation with a highway crash, that can extend the timeline.
Sure. No, I've seen that. But I think in something like this, where time is of the essence, I appreciate you guys making the effort, and glad to hear that you have the workforce. Mr. Rushlow, in your testimony, you highlighted some of the recent changes in hiring, and also especially in the training processes to make sure we have more qualified air traffic controllers, but full workforce. I know you're working with local colleges all over the country on that. Is that is that working? I mean, I think if we can accelerate that, we have Metro State in Denver is a place where we're turning out some of these members. Is that something you can ramp up?
I'm very interested, and the Secretary has been very clear with the public as well as with me that we need to surge this hiring and do it well. Again, back to the testing, the surge, bringing people in. As it relates to additional college initiatives, we have an enhanced college training initiative, ECTIs,
Right.
that we're using in, I believe, 4 universities right now. We're working with them with respect to advanced simulators and the like to make sure that we can get more, what we'll call throughput, but more controllers through those schools and get them out to the local facilities, centers, towers, TRACONs.
Great. I'm out of time. Yield back to the chair. Thank you.